Today we have exercise 19. This method is again an accurate drawing method in perspective, but this is for 1 point perspective. So the last two methods, method A and method B, were for 2 point perspective. This is for 1 point. So how to draw accurately in 1 point perspective? Using measurement, using scale, and all of these things. Now, first of all, this method in general is used for mostly interior designers use it when they draw rooms or some open space to show what is inside. So this is what it's used mostly for, this method especially. So we will draw a room, okay, an opened room. Now, as you know, rooms are big, so we need to use a scale, a high scale, so that we scale it down to our paper. So we will use 1 to 50 scale. So the real measurements of a room, for example, we will make them smaller 50 times, okay? So for this example, I will choose a room that has length 4 meters, width 4 meters, and height 3 meters. Now, of course, depends on what you are drawing. This can change every time, but this is just to show you how to draw using this method, okay? So, we have length, width, and height. If we have 4 meters, because we are using centimeter on the paper, we will transfer it to centimeter. This is 400 centimeter, 400, and 300. This now will equal on the paper, so what is the actual scale on the paper? 400 divided by 58 centimeter to scale. So this is on your paper. The 4 meter will become 8 centimeter on the paper. The same thing with the width. The height will become 6 centimeter, okay? And each centimeter on our drawing will equal to 50 centimeter in reality, just so you can imagine. And when we have 2 centimeter, it will be 1 meter in reality, okay? So, now, this method, first of all, we will draw a line. This will be the picture plane line. Now, in the previous method, when we used the 2 point perspective, it was a little different. So we had a picture plane line. We used to draw the top view here, and then we used to take down to station point. This one is a little different, okay? So we will draw the picture plane line. We will draw underneath here, in this area, the top view again of the room. So there is some variations in this method that you will see, but once you know 1 and 2 variations, it's very easy to understand all of them. And for the room, this is the suitable way. We cannot put it from the top down, okay? So from the bottom down, from the bottom up. So the picture plane line, we will draw what here? The top view of the room. So we said it should be 8 centimeter length, 8 centimeter width, okay? Then we will have to find the station point, which is at 90 degrees, so similar to the other methods that we use. Now, the station point is the place where you are actually looking at the room. So, if I'm exactly in the middle now and looking at this room and drawing it, the station point is exactly in the middle. But you can sometimes have, from here you can draw the room, from here, but you will have what? A face that you start with, because this is 1 point perspective. So we don't have an edge here. In the previous method, we have a corner and so on. Here we have a face. And you already know 1 point perspective starts with a face. Okay, so the station point from where you look at the room. Now, here I use the ruler, this ruler here, 45, 45, 90, okay? But this is not always the case. Like, you can, for example, use this ruler, okay? Now, the important part is that when you use this ruler, that this point and this point touch on these 2 lines, okay? So this is here something to look for, but you can use another ruler as long as this is parallel here. So, okay? So the points will be, so it depends on where you are standing. But in this exercise, we will put everything in the middle, okay? Just to understand the method, and then in the future, you can experiment with different ways of drawing. So we started here. We touched these two corners. We extended the lines. They touch here and here. From these 2 points, we will just take lines up. We will use them a little later. Now, here, I have to draw the height of the room. Now, we know that from here to here, it's 8 centimeters. And the same thing, we put 2 lines up, and we have to draw in this space, this 8 centimeters. And this one should be 6, okay, because it's 6 centimeters high. Okay, but where to put this? Here, 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 okay? Again, there is no specific rule. However, sometimes if you put it too close to this line, again, you will not have space to draw the entire room, okay? This depends on where the horizon line will be put. So, here I will show you some example of what I mean. But where do you put the horizon line? This is what will define how much space you need. Now, we will put everything in the middle to make everything easy for now, okay? So let me first draw. So we have 8 centimeters here. So we have here 8. Let me just put them up here. So this is here, the ruler better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there's something off here. So the 8 centimeters I divided. The height we said is 6. Centimeters. Okay, so to be on the safe side for now, we try not to put it too close to this line. Okay. Now the horizon line location. The horizon line. Where shall we? Now first of all, we have. Let me first draw the ground line. The ground line where? On where you're standing. So this is here touching the bottom line of the room. So this is here going to be the ground line. Let me extend it. And after that, we will draw the horizon. So this is here the ground line. Now the horizon, okay? The horizon can be anywhere. It can be here, it can be here, it can be here, okay? So this means where you are, your eye level line. Sometimes you're given this as a requirement to do it this height specifically. Sometimes you choose it. So if I'm very short and I want to draw this room, my horizon will be somewhere here, so it will be low, or it could be up. So every time you change the location of the horizon, the way this room will look different. Now I will put it for now in the middle, okay? And I will show you what happens if it's not in the middle, okay? So in the middle, if we put the horizon line, so this is 1, 2, 3 at number 3 here. Or you put 2 diagonals and you find it. Horizon line. Now, where is the vanishing point going to be? We have one vanishing point in 1 point perspective. So this depends on the station point. So where is the station point located? Okay, from here you take up. So up. So now here it's going to, because this is in the middle, the vanishing point will be in the middle and on the horizon line. Okay. Now, from the next step to do is from the vanishing point through these 2 corners to take out lines. So from this point through this point, we take out line. And it should touch this line in some place, okay? The same thing we will do here. And after that, from the vanishing point, so this is here the vanishing point. From here through the upper 2 corners, the same thing we will do. again, we have places where they touch. Okay. Now we will close them up, okay? So this is basically the open room, okay? So this is like I'm standing here, I'm seeing something here at the back, and all these lines that come up, this is the open room. So everything that will draw will be in this area. Now, what will happen if the horizon line we said is not in the middle? What will happen? So, let us see in this example here. So we have here a similar object. This is the ground line. Now we will put the horizon line down or up. For example, here, a very short, for example, person looking. So if this is the horizon line, what will happen to the room? So again, the station point. So here is the vanishing point, and then we will take from here through here, and from here to here. So they will touch this line here and this line here. Let us draw and see what happens. And the same thing from here, we will take up, and from here we will take up. So, you see what will happen? So, your point of view is here, so you will see the room like you're closer to the ground, so you will see more of the ceiling. The same opposite thing will happen if we move the horizon line too much up, okay? If it's too much up moved, the same thing, okay? We will have to find, for example, here will be the vanishing point. Then we will have to do the same from here. Let me take another color so we can see the difference. So, from this point through this point again, sorry, from this point through this corner, and here also. So, and also through here, and through here. So, where is our room right now? So, somewhere here. So, if we are looking at it from too much up, okay, we will see more of the ground here and less of the ceiling, okay? So, this is what I meant, that sometimes you might not have space. So, it depends on the location of this horizon line, okay? So, as you can see, the red here, where is it located, and the green, it goes down, okay? So, sometimes you might not have space depending on where you put it. So, be careful. If on your drawing you see that, okay, you're kind of too close to the line, just move this object up and redraw everything, okay? Now, in our case, the horizon line is in the middle, everything in the middle, okay? To keep it simple. And in your drawing, you will have to do the same. What did I put here? Another example. This is sometimes when the station point is not located like with a 90 degree. This can also happen, okay? But this is for the future. If you're specializing in interior design, then you will look at all these variations, okay? So, for example, the station point, I'm here now, but in that drawing, I'm moving actually away from the room, so I will see the room smaller or larger, depending on how close I come, okay? In our case, we keep it with a 90 degree, with the ruler, so everybody have the same drawing. Okay, now let us start with the rest. Now here, I will draw a few things. So we said this is the top view of the room, okay? So everything we have inside the room must be drawn from the top. Now let us start with let us draw some tiles, first of all, okay, some tiles. So I will divide them according, now they can be different sizes and so on, but I will take each centimeter as one tile, okay? So let us draw this here. So in reality, this will be what it means, that each tile, each centimeter on the drawing is 50 centimeters. So each tile will be 50 centimeters. But they can be smaller or larger. Okay. And from here also, if they're, now I can leave them like this, maybe I want long, boards to have on the floor, but I will divide them into squares for now. Okay, so something like that. Now, how do we transfer the tiles, first of all, from here to here? Okay? Well, we have our station point, okay? Through each of the, like I select either this side or this side, one of them, okay? So from the station point through all of these points, we will draw lines. This is the first step. From station point, lines. Now from all of these points, what do we do? Similar to what we already seen before in other methods, we take them up and see where it will intersect, because we are using this line, so we will see where it will intersect this line. So we will take these points up. They have to be straight, like in method B, because if they're not straight, as you can see, they can shift the spaces. So the spaces have to become smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, to complete the tiles, we know these points. We just take straight lines to the other side. Now, how do we complete these lines? Okay, now this part of the room, very important, because all these measurements from here, we will take them through the vanishing point, through these points here now, okay? So you have to put the measurements carefully. So from the vanishing point, through each one of these points, we will take through the next point. So let me delete this area here because we don't need it. We need what is on the floor, so we don't overcrowd the lines. So this is here the vanishing point, okay? So the tiles have been transferred to here, to the floor. Okay. Now, what other objects do we have in the room? We have to place them here before we transfer them here. So let's decide where to have a window. First of all, from the top. Now, if we have a window on this area, which is on this line, we have to mark it, okay? So how big the window from the top? Let's say from here. So we mark it with two lines, okay? From here to here, let's say, okay? Now the height of the window, we will decide from this space. So we have here measurements on the side. So the height of the room, 6 meters, we will decide. But from where to where, so this area here, It has a measurement, okay? What is this measurement? Of the window that I want to do. Now, let me first take it up. Now, the window will be located, because I'm using the tiles here so they can help me. So this is the first tile, this is the last tile. So they will be located somewhere here. Let me take another color. So the window will be located somewhere on this line and on this line. But what is the height? Obviously, it doesn't start from the ground to the ceiling. Okay, so how much down from the ceiling? How much up from the ground? This is for us to decide as designers, okay? Let's say I will put 2 centimeters up. 2 centimeters means 1 meter. From the ground to the window starts, let's say. So from here, that means it starts from here. Now, from that ceiling down, how much, for example? We can put it, for example, let's put it 1 centimeter. Now, it doesn't have to be, it can be half, it can be millimeters down. When you draw a real interior, it's much more complicated, okay? But here we are simplifying. So, now, so our window located in this area. Let's delete the extra line so we don't get confused. Okay, so this is the window location that we choose, okay? The size is given from here, the height we choose from here. And then, the details, okay? Like what other details does it have? I will not put so much details here, but you can put, for example, the thickness of the frame. Again, it has a measurement. What other details? It could be, for example, divide it in 2. And then with these 2, you can do, again, depending on what kind of a design it is, okay? So this is really up to the designer. So if I want to do some, for example, here I will find the midpoint from here to here. This is the midpoint. I could, for example, do this kind of thing. So this is here, this point and this point. I could draw, for example, half a circle here, okay? So you can do a lot of things with the window. Okay, now let's move on. What if we have some furniture pieces here? Okay, so we have to draw them, the location here. Now let's say, okay, if we have a table located with a certain measurement in a certain location, where shall we put it? Let's say here, for example. This is our table, long like this. Okay, from here to here, let me put it. So, the size of the table from the top, okay? Now, in reality, it's a little more complicated. Now, if it has, for example, certain legs or other details that will be seen from here, you have to also draw them, okay, their location. So like, for example, if the table is, of course, this kind of design, so if we have stuff like that, you have to also draw them. In my case, I will keep it a little simple, so I will not draw these legs, because there is no space. You can see the details here anyway, but I will put something like that. So this here will be opened from the top, but 2 legs extending from both sides connected. So we have to define where it's this location. For example, if I want to put them here. Okay, how do we find the location of this table here, in this area? Now, we can extend lines from the table to this line, here and here. So it's this point and this point. Because we already divided the floor into tiles and everything is in place, it's very easy. But if it's smaller than the tiles, you need to extend the lines, find these 2 points, take them to this line, okay? And then put them up. Now, this line connect here, and this here connect here. So this is the starting point of our table. So it will be located somewhere in this area and this area. But, okay, so we have here, from the vanishing points, we need to know, okay, where is it located from this view? So we have here this tile, this point, and this point. So from here, 1, 2, from here. So from the vanishing point, where is the vanishing point? Here. So this is the area, you see this area where the table will be located. Now we will need to put the height, okay? So from each of these corners we have to put up. Let me use the black one better. So when we put this up, and from here up, from here up, and from here up. But how do we know the height? Okay. How can we tell the height? We cannot, if we are drawing a sketch, we can just estimate, but if you're drawing something accurate, you need to go back to this place, okay? From here, you need to tell me the height. So what height shall we use? So 1 meter, for example, from the ground, 1 meter, to make it easy. So this is 1, 2. So starting from here, from this area. So the table, or let's make it short, from here, okay? And here, and here. So here I define the height of it. Now, from this point and this point, the vanishing point will go through, okay? And see where it will intersect those two lines. So I define the height, I know the location. Now the vanishing point through these 2 points. So it will intersect here, and the other one here. Okay? So vanishing point through this edge, where it will intersect those 2 lines, and here where it will intersect those 2 lines. Then we can know the height in this perspective space, where it's going to be located. But we have the legs, okay? Now I will make a long leg, not 4, but connected. Anyway, we have this point and this point. So we need to find the location. Where is it going to be? So, yes, this point will be located on this line somewhere here, and this point somewhere here. But to do that, we need to take it first up, like from this point, take it to this line, through the station point. So the station point through this point, where it will intersect this line, okay? Then, from this corner through the station point, where it will intersect this line here, and then from this point and this point up. So it will intersect here, and where did we put it? Here. So, let me do it with black so it's more visible. Now, of course, the table will have a thickness. This thickness also have a measurement, so you decide how much the thickness. From here, you will put it down, okay? So from here to here, how much thickness? It could be millimeters, okay? But you need to decide, and then from the vanishing point, take it. Now, these legs are not finished, because from the perspective, we will see, okay, this is here the table. Let me delete this extra here. So this is here the table top, from the top, but this is here a free space. So from this corner and this corner, we need to take again to the vanishing point. Because we can see a bit of this side, so we can see what's here, okay? From under, so if I look at the table here, and that goes to a point, I can see a little bit from this side and from this side. So we need to draw this as well. And What is hidden, we put it away. So let me delete all this here stuff because it's hidden now. So this is here, for example, a table. Now, we could have a lot of things, okay? We can have chairs, we can have a lot of things. Now, I don't have a lot of opportunity to draw here because of these pens, but anything you draw has to start, the location has to start here, and then, like, for example, if you want to draw a chair, let's say a sofa, that's located in this area. Like this, for example, okay? And the backrest have, for example, a thickness of this. Now this object, you need to draw it here. Like for example, let me remove this so you can see. So where is it located? Starting from here. And the height. Here you decide the height, okay? So, for example, we know the backrest ends somewhere here, but the height of this object, how much is the height of this? How much is the height of this? After that, from the vanishing point, through this corner, through this corner, through this corner, through this corner. So let me delete this area here just to show you what will happen. So if I go to the vanishing point, here you will decide, okay, where is the length stopping? So this is here, whatever this point is, you can take from the station point, from here take it up and see where it will intersect. So this point, for example, we can take it from the station point, see where it will intersect here, put it up, where it will intersect this line. So this is here the end of our sofa. So like this, for example, okay? Now, it will not be so simple in the drawing. Like, for example, if you have, so it will not be that simple in your drawing. You will not just draw cubes and squares and so on. So, for example, then you have to decide, okay, maybe this is round. So, for example, we have from the top, let's say a sofa that looks like this, for example, but in reality it's not like this. For example, we can have rounded, so radiuses. So this radius starts at a point, okay? Maybe this here we have other details here, maybe we have divisions, maybe we have, so all of these things, the way it looks from the top, you need to draw here. The plan view of everything that's in the room with its details, okay? So after that, any point you need from the station point, you see where it will intersect the picture plane line, like in that previous example. And then from these points you take up and see where it will intersect the corresponding lines. From the back you measure the heights, okay? The heights. You decide the heights of the object. And you can draw it here, very likely. Then from the vanishing point, take through each point. Of course, it will look like this in the beginning. After that, if you have rounded edges, rounded corners, you can add, for example, you can have something like this here. It's not visible. Okay. So, for example, you have something like this. So this line will disappear. It will become like two lines. So, so you need to put more details to make it realistic. Now, every drawing starts with cubes, with rectangles, so something will look like this. And then you will have to decide, okay, from this point, which you will find where its location is, to this point, for example, we have this kind of. In this case, you will have to remove this corner and start where the radius starts and end where the radius ends. This will show me that it has this kind of shape. And whatever other details you have, maybe here you will have also rounded, because it's not natural to have a chair that looks, okay, with corners, okay? So any details you add to this drawing later. Now, you might have a door here. If you have a door, again, locate it here, like the window, locate it. So for example, start here, end here, with 2 lines clearly. It will have a measurement. Then from the station point through this point, you will find where it will intersect here. And then the height of it, you will decide from here. So for example, if the door starts from here, and this point here, we need to decide the height of it. From here, from this line. So how much down from the ceiling, for example? If it's somewhere here, then from the vanishing point through this point, you will take and see where it will intersect these 2 lines, and this will be the door location, okay? And the real height in perspective, and so on. You can add more and more details. You can even have from the vanishing point through here. These things no need to place, because if you have a thickness to the wall, here we didn't put a thickness, but if you have a thickness, we need to put the thickness here, which we didn't, so no need. Keep it closed like this. But the details, what you put inside, be careful. Now, if you have something on the top, on the ceiling, you also need to draw. For example, we have a light that goes from here, let's say. Let's make it easy. So a light that goes from here all the way to here. Even what we have on the ceiling, we need to draw here as a top view, okay? So this light, where is it located? It starts here, for example, end here, but it will be located on the top. So we need to take this up. Now, from the vanishing point through these 2 points, now here we can have other details in the light. They could be divided, for example, in half. Here we can have also a thickness to it, okay? So it can be a lot of things. It may not start from here and end here. If it doesn't, like for example, it ends in this place, then we extend the line. We see this point, where is it located, okay? Here, here, go up, this point here, and then from here you will take a line and intersect these 2. So the light starts from here, for example, okay? And again, through the vanishing point. If you have a thickness, like for example, it will have a thickness, then we will put lines down. Now, how much down, how much the thickness of a light going down, this you decide from this area. How much down? For example, this much, okay? This means you will have point here, point here. From the vanishing point through these points, you will take, and, so this is here the height. So, and this will be hidden. So the light now have a thickness, it go down from the ceiling, but from where we decided is from here. If I want more, I will put it more thicker. If I want it more thin, I will put it more thinner. But from the vanishing point, I have to go through the points and see where it will intersect the line. So on the drawing, when you draw with pencil, please draw very lightly, because as you can see, it can become so much lines and overcrowded. So you don't want thick lines like these pens, because it will become confusing, okay? So very thin lines. After you finish constructing everything, then you will draw me the objects heavier. Like for example, if you have objects in the room, tables, chairs, doors, windows, something on the ceiling, you will make it more heavier so that it can stand up, okay? Stand out from the drawing. Any construction lines, like these kind of lines, keep them light, okay? But I want to see the construction lines as well, but very light on the paper. Now here, we have some examples that I will put for you of students, interiors doing. So, basically, you will have, everybody will have what? The same, because we will do the same measurements, 8 centimeter by 8 with 6 centimeter height. These students did the same room, okay? So, the construction will be here with the 90 degree, 45, 45. So, you will have basically the same measurements. What will be different from each student to student is what's here inside, okay? This will be different. But all of you will have basically the same type of construction. Depends on where you draw this object here, up or down a little bit. That will be the only difference. But the room will have the same size. Everything will look very similar to what we have here. But here inside, please try to draw correctly, of course, and to put some details. Pay attention to the details, okay? So don't keep it just extremely, extremely simple. If you pay attention to the details, and I can see how you took the lines up, how you found the points, this is what will give you the good grade. And of course, it has to look good also. So no mistakes in the drawing. So I will put these as example for you to see.